So Matt LaFleur in Tennessee, his scheme and philosophy, merging the run and the pass games. I prefer the term exotic smash mouth, but we're gonna settle for this for right now.
That was Mike Mularkey, exotic smash.
I know, but I mean, like, let's not change things. I mean, it was a great term that he coined, and I would like to keep it attached to this team if possible. But merging the run and pass games, I love it. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so when asked to describe the offense, LaFleur says, first of all starts with our run game, having plays that play off our run game. I think we're going to have a strong marriage between the run and pass game so that defenses will look, here comes another run, oh, it's a play action and whatnot. So those two things really get married. We saw what happened with the Rams where he came from last year. And actually, just a little fun fact about LaFleur, only two coaches he's ever been under, Kyle Shanahan and then Sean McVay. So, I mean, maybe the two brightest minds in the NFL that he's learned from. And they both love play action and screens. And that's what he kind of means with this marriage is you pound the rock, you establish that game, and then suddenly you're doing a screen off of a play action pass and the defense has no idea what's coming at them. It just sets them up. And then the other staple of all three of their offenses is being aggressive. He says, LaFleur, it's extremely difficult to dink and dunk all the way down the field. Defenses are just too good. Statistically, the teams are getting more chunk plays. The explosives teams, those are the ones that are going to produce the yards and the points. So expect a heavy dosage of screens, play action passing, and downfield throws. This team is very well set up to do all three of those things.
All right, fair enough. Man, I don't know what to think about Tennessee. I really don't. I'm scared to touch too many Tennessee players, but man, if I were going to jump in on one of them or two of them, here's a couple guys. These are the guys affected the most. Derrick Henry, Roto Street Journal favorite, is really an understatement. And Dion Lewis, who might just be throwing a monkey wrench into the whole works and causing us to be upset and just depressed in general for yet another year. Wolf, Derrick Henry, Dion Lewis, go.
So again, obviously, when one player could get all this amazing volume coming at him, would be incredible. We saw what it did for Todd Gurley, the fantasy MVP last year. But I think the committee stench here is getting a little bit overblown and going to actually make these guys great values. It's almost like a Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram light situation where it's a committee that can actually work. I believe that this is what that's going to be. Again, the marriage of the run and pass games, you need to establish a backfield presence first to actually have this offense work. So it's going to start in the run game, as LaFleur says, having plays that play off of our run game. So they're going to make sure they get tons of volume here. I see about 2,300 to 2,600 total yards of offense, 15 to 25 total TDs being up for grabs just out of the backfield. We've seen that in Atlanta the last couple of years. We saw Todd Gurley do it by himself last year. So I think, again, that's a ton of volume to be divided up. So I think both of these guys approach 1,200 or so total yards. Maybe Henry gets about 10 to 12 TDs, whereas Lewis is more the reception guy, gets about 60-plus receptions. Both of those are, solid workhorse-esque numbers at a committee type of price because that's what they're stuck in. I think this is a committee that actually works. I love it.
I think it might be a committee that actually works too. I would tend to go a little higher on Henry and a little lower on Lewis. That's just kind of my gut feeling. But you never know with a quarterback like Mariota. I mean, the checkdowns, the receptions might really add up for somebody like Lewis. But man, I love Henry as a runner. I mean, we've been so all in on that for such a long time. I'd love to see it happen. There was like a week or a couple days there.
Gurley. Obviously, I wish he was alone and getting the Gurley treatment. And then we had him at 10 overall when that was looking to be the case.
There was a brief period of time. A brief period of time.
I woke up. I might even called out that morning and wrote an article because I was just so excited. And then it was robbed of us. But I think after that initial disappointment it's tough to move past. But if you can, you'll notice that there's suddenly good value here in Tennessee for both types of leagues. Standard, obviously, Henry, the higher touchdown upside. PPR, I think Lewis brings a little bit more appeal with the 60 to – I think Lewis could really lead this team in receptions. I really think he could this year.